What is up, y'all? It is JOR to the DAN back again. Yeah. Alright, Jordan, chill. That rapping video is over. Anyways, what's up, y'all? So I am back today to talk about psychology. Haha, get it? Psychology? Relax, you gotta chill out, bro. Anyways, so today I'm gonna be talking about psychology. For those of you who don't know, a little bit of background, a little bit of history. I graduated from the City College of New York in May of 2019 with a bachelor's, clearly not English, with a bachelor's of art in psychology. Honestly, it's one of the best decisions I ever made, and I'm sure there are things going through your head right now, preconceived notions, expectations from people going into psych, but relax, hear me out for a second. So I'm just gonna talk about my experience a little bit and see if it relates to you, and maybe psychology is something you want to get into. So at the beginning of time, the genesis of my college career, I was a bio major. Oh yes, bio major, like a lot of people lost and unsure about their careers in life and forced by societal parental pressures to pursue an education that is both respectable and meaningful. Alright, enough of that. I'll get more onto that in another video, my journey, how I even jumped from bio to psych, but that's a video for another day. So today I kind of just want to talk about my experience as a psych major. I transferred into City College sophomore year as a psychology major. So how did that even come up? To be quite honest, like, there's no crazy heroic story like, oh, psych was my passion, I dreamt about it last night. Yeah, I was just like, you know what? It's kind of interesting. I was walking around Barnes and Nobles, I remember the summer before I transferred in, and I just saw this book called Psychology for Dummies, you know, that whole For Dummies series. Dumb me. So yeah, I just picked up that book, and it was the very basic, bare bones of Psychology 101, and I was just like, wow, this is kind of cool actually. And I never took a psych class in high school. I had the opportunity to, but I decided to take chemistry. What was I thinking? But you know what? It led me here to this wonderful major of psychology, and I don't look back, I don't regret it one bit. So it all started with that Psych 102 class, and really there I did not know what to expect. I wasn't really passionate about the major. I wasn't passionate about the field yet. So this intro to psychology class was kind of like the opportunity to decide, like, oh, do I want to continue this? And that intro class was great because it really just gave me an idea of all the different things within psychology, just kind of like testing the waters for every different field. And that's one huge thing I learned, just to give y'all a heads up. Psychology is a vast ocean, and like, there are just so many things to explore within this realm of psychology, within this umbrella. So, you know, on the first day of psychology class, everyone asks you, why are you here? Why are you interested in psychology? And the most common answer, and the one that I personally gave, was I just want to learn about human behavior. I want to learn how the mind works. And that's totally fine. In the beginning, it's just crazy because that's the mindset you have, but you really don't know what you're getting into. Psychology is so much more than that. That is such a broad term as well, just like, you know, the study of the mind, sure. But there's so many little things, so many categories, so many topics within that psychology field. I really did not know this going into it, so I'm really hyped that I really chose the major that I would feel passionate about, and I'm glad I saw it through past this intro class. So things started to really pick up when I took cognition, and it was just really cool learning how memory works, how we kind of process, encode information, all that stuff. So that was what really fueled me. It was a difficult course. It's something I really read the textbook for, you know. I was passionate about it. I loved learning about how we perceive things, how things are recorded in our minds. The whole concept of attention, and like, you know, how you could just be there, you could be offering your time, but if you're not offering your attention, it's like you're not even there. You might as well just not go, you know. And another thing that just sparked this love for psychology was social psychology. And I just loved seeing how people interact in social situations and understanding that, just assigning different terms and definitions and seeing it in action in daily life. And the great thing about psychology is that once I progressed and moved up the ladder into the 300 level courses, I could really just form my own curriculum. I could kind of focus on what I wanted to focus on in psychology, because like I said, it is a vast sea, and for me it was kind of working with people. You know, I'm such a people person, and I just loved learning about how people perceive things. I also took family psychology, and that helped me greatly with kind of just understanding the family dynamic and different families' roles, that power tension. Like I said before, just assigning terms to these things, it really just helps helps you see things clearly. And most importantly, I went into kind of this people route, this people focused and how they perceive things route, because I really wanted to apply it to my hopeful career of becoming an occupational therapist. And I think it's really important to just see how people perceive things, because a lot of times it's really hard to step into another person's shoes and really see the world the way they see it. Through psychology and through the courses I took, I'm hoping that those courses will help me kind of step into another person's shoes, see it from their perspective. We all vary in how we view the world, and I think that's so beautiful. And through these courses, I just want to see how the mind works in that sense, the psychology of people and how they perceive treatment, how culture plays a factor in that. And that's kind of the motivation behind why I took these courses, why I chose psychology and decided to continue it, because I really wanted to reach this goal of occupational therapy. So I was like, what courses will benefit me most in this career? And for me, that's what it was. Another thing I realized as a psychology major is that there's a lot we don't know. Like, a lot of people like the core, hard, factual sciences, like biology, chemistry, and all that. And I think in psychology, there's just so many things to consider. There's so many, like outside variables that affect the human being. You can't truly control for everything in the human being. There's so many factors: environmental, biology, DNA, the interaction, the experiences we have in our daily lives. And I think it's just so interesting that there's so much we don't know, and it kind of like inspires me to research more into that, have people explore unknown territory. And through psychology, it really just helped me analyze articles, kind of scrutinizing the information that you read on the internet, and you can kind of do your own research, and you'll understand which ones are bogus, which ones are just kind of trying to get that headline attention from people, and really just avoiding the media and the false information that pop psychology might give us just to kind of get that headline view, And lastly, how does psychology even apply to my life? How does it help me in life? How does it add to the quality of my life? So for me, studying psychology really just helped me appreciate people around me and appreciate that our mind is so complex and there's so many tiny little processes going on that we don't even notice because it just happens like super fast. Those neurons, those synapses are firing. I forgot all of my neuroanatomy, but yeah, I think it just makes me appreciate the mind even more. And the mind is just a complex, intricate organ, and that's kind of exciting, It's like, whoa. And also in life, with my friends, with my family, with random strangers, you kind of just get an idea of how people think, and you start to question like, oh, maybe they thought this. I think psychology and my studies in psychology just really helped me challenge different ideas, different things that could be going on. I think one of the most common examples that really hit me when I was taking social psychology specifically was the fundamental attribution error. And that's kind of like our tendency to think that people are terrible. Like, the example they always use is driving. So when people cut you off on the road, you tend to get mad and you're like, this person's horrible, he's an we tend to think that they're just terrible people and that's why they did that. There's no other reason. But you know what? Maybe he was driving his wife to like the hospital or something. Maybe his wife was giving birth. Maybe this guy just had a really bad day at work and he was just so tired and he really just wanted to get ahead. So psychology just really challenges me to think about the other alternatives and to consider that other people may be going through something else that we don't know about. For me personally, that helps me kind of relax and realize that, wow, like, I don't know everything. I don't want to assume. I don't want to judge people just on that snap moment that I see them. There's always different motivations behind why people act the way that they do. It really just challenges me to think. Courses like health psychology, like I said, just really fascinate me, It really tapped into why people don't work out more. I should probably take that advice. We know that working out is good for you. Duh. Not smoking is good for you. Duh. But you know what? A lot of people still smoke, even with that factual evidence, even if people look at that information. There are people that know the consequences of their actions, but they still do it. So it's like, what's the psychology behind that? What are the barriers? Like, what are ways we can combat that? So that's kind of like the excitement of health psychology. And another course I took in psychology that really just helped me in life was family psychology. And once I took that class, I just learned about how people interact and how different mindsets kind of clash, and that's what causes conflict in families and misunderstandings. One of the most simple but effective exercises I learned from that class was, honestly, I forgot the name of it. But basically, two people are fighting, right? And the psychiatrist, psychologist, person, whatever is there. So one person is quiet and they listen to the other person. And so they basically talk about, I guess, whatever their conflict is about. And after every 30 seconds or so, the other person stops and the other person who was listening, they have to paraphrase that other person and basically what they said during that time that they were speaking. The point of this is to understand where other people are coming from, what other people mean. Because sometimes when we listen, when we say that we listen to others, we don't really get their point of view. We're not really sure what they mean. We kind of bias it with our own thoughts, and we're just ready to kind of come up with our comeback. You know, we're trying to clap back, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's just an effective tool for being a great listener in general. Like, no matter what, even if your family's not fighting, kind of just like being a better listener by paraphrasing what people are saying every now and then throughout the conversation and being like, oh, is this what you meant by that? And if they're wrong, the other person can correct you, and now you're on the same playing field. You can hash things out because you have this common understanding, this mutual agreement on what was said. And I think that's just beautiful, and psychology just helped me learn that. So here's the big question. Should you major in psychology? I don't know. Only you know that answer. How do you view psychology? How will you apply it to your intended career? How will you apply it to your life? Because if you don't like psychology, I can't force you into it. I could definitely make a future video if y'all would be interested in that. Feel free to hit me up if you want to ask me questions about my psychology major experience. I would just kind of love to give you the pitch for psychology, you know, because it's something I'm really appreciative of, and it's really a field that I didn't look into deeply enough in the beginning of my college career. And I'm glad I kind of just fell into this pool of psychology and I never looked back since. Alright, random pun time. So Sigmund, what'd you have for lunch? Fried chicken. What psychiatrist never gets old? Carl Jung. Hey there, my name is Skinner. Can I be your BF? What would you do for a Thorndike bar? Yo, what's going on with my data is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What do you call a basketball team full of monkeys? The Harlow Globetrotters. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button for the millionth time. Please smash that like button. If you love psych, you can give me a like and I'll learn how to ride a bike. Oh snap, I wasn't so... Yeah, I totally know how to ride a bike. But thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. Semester's starting soon. Get your ish together. Maybe take a psychology course. Who knows? Open up your mind, learn something new. I got a lot more coming for y'all, so thank you and have an amazing night. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing afternoon whenever you're watching this. Have an amazing life. This is Jordan Agabin and I am out of here. Peace, and yeah.